Hello, my name is Brianne Baker and I am going to be doing my video presentation on learning letters, and a lot of this information you can find in the text on page 24 and 27. To start out, it really discusses how when a child begins a lesson in learning their letters, it may be, only on things that they know, and it could be no more than a couple letters in the child's name. So you want to begin with what the child knows in reading or writing and moving slowly towards extending the child on each activity. You should be using several ways of directing the child's attention to the visual features of the letters. And in the text, they give you 3 very important ways of doing this. Movement for your kinesthetic learners, using words for your auditory learners, and the visual form of the letters. With movement, you might want to do something like hand-over-hand instruction to help the student to identify that letter by the movement, by the way it's formed. Also words, you could say something like down and around. That's the verbal prompt they give you in the text. And it helps with giving the verbal description of the movement of the letter so that the students can hear it verbally. The next one is through visual form, and that could be by actually writing the letter, and you might want to do that as a visual model and actually dramatize the sequence of construction. You could also have the child write it with you also, and a lot of that information is found on page 24. On page 27, it states that as the child works with letters, think about some of these points. Allow the child to label the letters in any appropriate way, by the name, by the sound. This shows that they do have more than one way to label, and it's showing progress with your beginning readers. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to do some demonstration on things that you can do with movement, visual, and with verbal. The first one is movement, and I've picked a K for my friend's name, Kylea. She does this very well. So what we're going to do is I'm going to demonstrate the movement part. So like it said in the text, you can do you want to get your pointer finger ready? You can help the child with hand over hand, and you could also pair this with the verbal. Line down, jump up, kick in, kick out. And then you could have the student do it by themselves. Go ahead, Kylea. Down. Good job. Another way to do it is maybe with a chalkboard, and you could have them trace the letter with a chalkboard. Why don't you trace that with your finger, and you can just erase it with your finger. And this helps with the child knowing how to pair the movement of the letter and actually feeling it for our kinesthetic learners. The next one is visual and also paired with words, actually demonstrating for them how to make the letter and then having them do it alongside with you. So what I would do is take my marker and I would just show line down, jump up, kick in, kick out. So I'm pairing the visual with the verbal, and then I might have the student do it alongside with me. So Kylea, why don't you go ahead and pick any color. Good choice. And then I will have her do it alongside with me. Ready? Line down, jump up, kick in, kick out. Good work, Kylea. Go ahead and erase that. And the other areas they said that you could use to help the child learn letters is with sand. And you could pair that with the movement, doing the hand over hand, or with the verbal as well. So what color would you like to use here to write your letter K? Blue? Good choice. So go ahead, and I'm going to show the movement with the hand over hand, and I'm going to have her try it by herself. Good job. Go ahead and you can shake that up. And you can try it by yourself, and you could also pair it with the verbal. Line down, jump up, kick in, kick out. Good work, Kylea. And another way that they state on page 27 is in the air. And you could do the same thing, hand over hand, or just have the student do it with you. So will you try it in the air with me with the letter K? Lying down, jump up, kick in, kick out. Good job. So those are the 3 demonstrations that you could use: movement, visual, and verbal. And I'm going to have Kylea demonstrate it again with you on our 2 other letters, C and L. So go ahead and trace that. Good job. And that she showed you the movement. Here's another way they suggest on a chalkboard. Go ahead and trace that. And then you could do the visual with the verbal on the whiteboard, and you could use a verbal prompt like a small curve or a big curve if you're doing a lower capital letters C. Do you have your white? Go ahead and get your marker out and try that again. And then have the student do it alongside with you if they're ready. Good job. Go ahead and erase that. In the sand, go ahead and do a letter C. Excellent. Or in the air. There you go, that's the way. Good job, Kylea. And then on page 27, it's really helpful because it actually gives you verbal prompts to use when a student is to recognize maybe letter and text. But what it really talks about is to make sure that it's the first letter in the word and when you know that the student is ready to use it in a text or